You have now identified the who's in the book of Philemon, and so I am now going to ask you to examine those who's, and here are the questions that we use for examining the who category of observational clues. There are 4 questions. As always, these are pump priming questions. If you think of other questions that would be helpful, please feel free to use them as long as those questions don't lead you into possible interpretation. Okay? So first, what is said about the person or group of persons in the text? So what is said about the person or persons or groups in the text? Then the next 3 questions all have to do with pronouns. So you can either consider these independently or you can just sort of use these questions to help you consider as a batch pronouns, okay, when you're examining the who's. To whom does the pronoun refer? Is there a particular pronoun that is repeated frequently? And is there a change in the use of pronouns? So for example, in English it's sometimes hard to discern this, but for example, in Greek or in Spanish, there may be a change from the use of a singular you to the use of a plural you, or vice versa, starting with a plural and then going to a singular. And it would be really helpful to know that. Okay, so this is the who examine questions are basically broken into 2 batches. The first batch is what is said about the person or group or persons or groups of people in the text, and then what about the pronouns? So I'd like you to use these questions to now go through all of the who's that you identified in the book. I'm sorry, I don't want you to do them all. Let me back up. That's not what I meant to say. What I would like you to do is I would like you to examine these who's. Examine Paul, Philemon, Onesimus, Apphia, and Archippus. Paul, Philemon, Onesimus, and Archippus. And so after you've done the examining of those who's, then come back to the next video and we'll continue from there. Thanks.